Welcome again to my tens and tens of friends. It is me, Teacher TJ, and today I'm going to be reading some
Reddit.
Reddit posts. So let's get into it. As a child care provider, I'm constantly learning new things or having different experiences. So I feel like I have been doing this long enough to have some advice to share or even just give my opinion on different child care situations or family situations. If you're new here, I am a preschool a home daycare child care provider. I have been running my home daycare for over 5 years now. I have also worked in a few centers. I have also worked in many classrooms of all levels: elementary, preschool, and high school, and middle. I tutored middle school, but I did not work in the classroom per se. So I do know a lot about being around children and working with children. So I have become quite interested in the Reddit posts in the Reddit community. Shout out to Bourbon Bougie. That is one of the content creators that I follow that reads Reddits, and I really love to listen to the different Reddits that she reads. And I enjoy the take that she gives on them. So I will be reading a Reddit today from our event. So I'm not sure that I'm saying everything correctly, but I am going to read the post and I will learn the terms at some point or another. So this Reddit is from our event, or maybe this is the venting section of Reddit. It was posted by, I believe this is the user Wasting My JD. Well, the title is Can't Afford Childcare and Hate Myself for It. And there is an anxiety and depression tag. It starts with saying, I feel like I am an idiot and a failure. After 15 years as a couple, 5 of them married, and lots of talking and planning and heart to hearts, my partner and I decided to have a baby. We knew childcare would be expensive. We made a budget, tracked spending, and while the numbers never looked amazing, we basically said, good enough. What we didn't realize is that getting someone to watch our 3 month old when my partner also goes back to work, I've been back a couple of weeks, will probably cost as much as our rent. We had been we had been planning to do a nanny share with nearby friends who also have a baby. Been planning on that for months, but today they told us they just can't make the logistics work. They've realized their needed hours and stuff are just too different, so they can't do the share. It was gonna be tough to afford half a nanny at two baby prices. Now I just don't know, and neither does my partner. I get this couple's reason for backing out, but it really does hurt us. I don't think that family should have agreed to that to begin with. It's one thing to share a preschool teacher that's a classroom, but to be like, we're going to share a nanny. Hours, it can definitely be an issue as it was. And I've never heard of anyone sharing a nanny. It's like when you get a nanny, in my head, I've never had a nanny and don't know anyone who has. But I would imagine that the way that work is that nanny is basically there for that a particular family. And if I had a nanny, I would not be interested in my nanny sharing her time with another family. I don't get it. At that point, it seems like you should just put them in a preschool. But, like, seriously, we're exploring all of our options and we're coming up empty. The absolute worst case scenario is my partner, who makes way less than me, takes a break from work to be a full-time parent, and that happens a lot. So anyone listening to this Reddit who does not have children or a good support group, consider this. Consider that working and paying childcare is not cheap. The worst case scenario, she takes a break from work to be a full-time parent, but besides killing her long-term earning, she refuses to accept that outcome. I wouldn't want to sit at home with the baby all day either. Not saying that I don't love the baby or it's just that I'm not a stay-at-home wife type of girly. So it ain't for everybody. And maybe she can find a better job and you can stay at home with the baby. It's just, and then the whole idea of somebody staying at home with a baby is like, we still need to have a goal in mind and a common, we need to come to an agreement with some things, because there's cooking, cleaning, taking care of the child that still needs to be done. Then there's the bills, and there's so many things that need to be discussed before you decide to have a baby. Unless, like me, I had it in my mind that once I had my baby, we was gonna be straight. I came hell high water. It was gonna be me and my baby, but and it worked out for me. But it doesn't necessarily work like that for everybody. She refuses to accept the outcome. She would rather take on massive debt, but who even gives loans to hire a nanny? Basically, I think we were too optimistic about our finances and not specific enough about childcare costs, and now we're screwed. Like, maybe we can maybe make it work if her parents help. What about your parents? But I hate that we need to ask them and we don't even know how much they can help, if at all. And because I am who I am, I just hate myself. Who are you? But you should hate yourself for not planning better, not earning more. I just feel buried and trapped, and like I'm failing my son and my partner. We try really hard not to be heteronormative. Never heard that word in my life. It's so many grammatical errors in this, and then they use the word her heteronormative. What is happening here? But there's probably some deeply ingrained patriarchal crap that's not helping here. Neither of us feels like we can really express how overwhelmed we are, because we need to stay strong for our son and each other. I don't know what to do about paying for childcare, and it's beyond overwhelming. And yeah, definitely think about having kids before you have them. You can't put them back. You can't change having a kid. It's like buying a car. You can't change that idea that you had. That's gonna cost you money. Him saying that he is really hard on himself. I refuse to be hard on myself, because if I start being hard on myself, what does that do for me? Like, I feel like that would only put me, yeah, in depression. I guess that's the tags. That would only like cause me to be sadder if I looked around. It's like, oh, woe is me. No, you just gotta figure it out and you gotta make it work. Y'all probably need to get some hustles, a side hustle, one of y'all, or if not both of y'all. Um, the only solution is to make more money, unless you are interested in signing up for services that help with paying for childcare. Someone replied saying, and this is going country, can you and your partner work different shifts so one of you is always home? And that's an idea. It's not always ideal, but it's a way for some to avoid having to place their children in daycare. Don't feel like a failure, for real. Ain't nobody got time for you to be failing. Shit, not you. You don't got time for you to be failing. The mother doesn't have time for you to be failing, or neither does the child. No, get up, dust yourself off, and think of a plan. Sit down in your thinking chair and think. Um, don't feel like a failure. Childcare has gotten ridiculously expensive these days, and it's not just childcare; it's life. It's also hard to find in my area. Good luck to you and your little family. I hope y'all find a solution that you feel good about. This person deleted their account, I guess, because it says deleted, but their post still remains. And this is actually a decent suggestion. For a while, I worked overnight shifts. This is Conspiracy Club 23. If the kiddo isn't in school yet, when do you sleep? I imagine it would only work if you can sleep when the kids are in school. Otherwise, they only nap for a couple of hours at a time, and that would be brutal. Yeah, so yeah, everyone is pretty much saying the same thing, that it is what it is, and you got to make the best out of it. Probably look into family, neighbor, affordable child care may not be the best child care. Look into resources from the government for assistance with child care. That's a thing, especially if you're the only one working and you have a family of three. So that kind of helps with determining if you qualify for child care or not. Reach out to family and see if maybe not just her parents, but who can help and when. And then think about part-time child care. And I hope that helps for anyone out there considering having children and considering costs. And this post is, well, it's in the Ireland Reddit, and it's posted by emergency underscore clock underscore 8718. This is 3 months ago. I did not know it would be this bad working in childcare. It is what you make it. It is not a people. Okay, we all love children, hopefully. So people think that working with kids is going to be just a bowl of sunshine, a bucket of rainbows. I don't know, just something lovely. And the fact of the matter is, childcare is what you make it. In my opinion, teaching and childcare, both fields, you really need to have really customer service or any in a service area, period. You really have to have an outlook of making it the best that you can. I literally go to work like, oh, we're going to do this, or it's planning, it's preparing, not just my classroom, but myself mentally. Otherwise, it's not that easy. Those children behave in the way they want. I really do need advice because I've never felt so lost and confused. I do apologize in advance for the long text. I am working in Ireland in childcare for a year now. Good job. Kudos to you. That's a long time. And already rethinking, should I leave the industry? Dang it. I've changed 3 crutches due to relocation, but because of bullying, physical attack, constant criticizing, and lack of communication, not knowing what to expect day after day because they keep on changing the rules and procedures. Oh, I hear that a lot in childcare. I started to work in a new creature, and I am here for just 2 days and I already can't sleep and eat. Dang it. I was being told I was going to work with someone else, and then I was being left alone in the afternoon. The manager said she told me, but she did not. And I remember specifically what she told me. Children don't know me. I still have to get used to them as they to me, but they were screaming and running. One had an accident. The other one vomited on himself. Mind you, it is my second day. When I went to the other room to explain what happened, no one came to help me. There were 3 of them. I quickly tidied up after snack, changed them, and we went outside. When I came back, I was welcomed with negative commentary about what I did wrong and all the risks and hazards. I was well aware of what I did wrong and openly said it, but I felt so alone and pushed into the fire that it was expected of me to know everything. On top of it all, the manager said no one skilled would want to work with me, including her. that I was doing everything backwards and brought chaos. How you going you ain't trained the kid or the person. If they're not trained, what can you expect but for them to do it the best way that they can? She had time for all that, but did not ask me after first day, how am I finding it? Then she asked me, I guess I mean like she asked me how my day was or how am I doing in this job. But then she asked me, is that what I am changing creatures so much that I shouldn't blame her, children, or colleagues, but myself? So now I really do wonder if anyone had bad experiences and changed a couple of creatures before deciding, is this job right? Is that supposed to be careers and is what is happening? I really do like working with children and we can learn so much from each other. But I am scared if everywhere is similar and if I am even for this job. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Um, yes, if you're trained right, I think anybody can. No, I'll take that back. I think if you want to work in childcare and you are trained properly, you'll love it. And I can't say it enough. Curriculum, schedule, and having a plan and so many systems in place is what makes childcare great for me. I said it before. I've worked in centers and it's like you'll work there and the support lacks, it's lacking support or it's lacking structure or it's lacking supplies. It's like for me working for myself, I know what I need in order to have a good day. And I intend on having a great day every day in childcare. So I feel like if you find the right center, you'll love it. If that's where your heart is and that is what your passion is. And I would also even recommend that you go ahead and consider maybe even running your own center or crunchy or creachies. Let's read some supplies from, oh Lord, we're gonna skip past that one. Somebody said it's so refreshing to see people protecting our delicate sensitivities nowadays. No, I feel like the way that someone feels about working in childcare should be addressed, should be acknowledged, and it does warrant feedback because you're working with children. Working with children is not easy, and working with children is very important. If someone is out there feeling like they need to ask for help working in childcare, I feel like they definitely should ask for some guidance. I'll read one more reply and then we'll move on and then I'll wrap this up. But I will just read this one. Insert some secrets here. It makes me so sad that people who would be excellent child care carers, who would be excellent child care givers, end up quitting because of the conditions. Yeah, that is sad because there's a high demand for child care workers right now, at least in my state. It's a calling for some people, and I'm so annoyed for your sister. I hope she is doing better now. I agree. I hope that you find somewhere that is a good place for your passion. And that wraps up today's Reddit. Thank you so much for listening. Please drop down your advice. Definitely reply to these Reddits and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.